excited because we have Pam Copeman with us today. I can't even contain myself. We were talking prior, but if you don't know who Pam Copeman is, you will after this interview. She is known all through the design world. She's been published all over New England, from the luxury awards to a New England Home, to Southern Living, to the Boston Globe. She's been everywhere. She's been a reporter for KBiz. I mean, she's done everything. And guess what? Even with all that, it's really just knowing her. When she walks in the room, you know who she is. She's just her. She leads with her heart, and she's fabulous. So, welcome, Pam.
Oh my goodness, is that really me?
Yes.
Thank you.
It absolutely is, and more. We could talk an hour about your accolades.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, Pam, let everybody know where you were born.
Oh my goodness. Okay, it's probably my one claim to fame. I was born in Bronxville, New York, even though I was really raised in Western Mass in a very rural area. And I'm the oldest of 5 girls within about 8 years. And it was really a pretty idyllic childhood. That being said, I couldn't wait to get to the city. I have a picture of me in front of a birthday cake, kind of like I'm plotting my escape.
You don't seem like a rural girl at all.
No, pink just doesn't go. No. But that's where I was born.
Yeah. So while you were a child, what was it that you felt made you so different? Like, what made you want to break out of that environment?
Oh boy. Wow. That's kind of a loaded question in that I had a very, very beautiful mother, and she loved men and they loved her. So we got a revolving door of male figures, and I just wanted a more calm, traditional, conventional life for myself. So I think that's part of what made me want to break out. I also wanted so much more than what I was being exposed to. I couldn't wait to get my hands on new experiences, travel, success, if you know, that type of thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. When you were leaving, your hometown and went to Massachusetts, what was it that took you to the next level? How did you break out? What was the first big move?
Well, the first big move, I went to school in Chicopee, Mass, which I rarely admit. It was called Our Lady of the Elms. It was an all-girls school. Chicopee is known for the Wall Street Journal and also the world's largest kielbasa. So it was a lovely experience because I could star in all the theater productions. That being said, it was a very gray, dreary location. People seemed to shuffle when they walked. Yeah. So when I got married, my husband and I decided on coming to the Boston area, which is where he was employed. And believe it or not, we took a drive on Jerusalem Road, which is very well known on the South Shore. It hugs the coast. And I said, perfect, this is where I want to live. I have the beach and Boston's within 45 minutes. So that's how we decided. And we really stayed here between Hingham, Cohasset, and now Scituate. And I've loved it. I've loved our choice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to live. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Were you right on the water when you lived there?
No, but we weren't far from it.
Oh, that's nice.
In one of my homes, I had a view of the water, which was spectacular.
Nice.
And my son happened to be rowing for Thayer at the time, and they would go right by and the whole crew would say, "Hi, Mrs. Copeman." I would be watching for them from my deck. It was really a treat.
So did you make a beeline at some point? I mean, you did theater. Did you? How did you execute that?
Well, I did theater predominantly in high school and college. I did a little community theater here, but it didn't really fit into my lifestyle. I wanted a career. It was always at night. So my first career started with color. of course, selling lipsticks for Clinique Cosmetics.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I was an account executive, and that's where I really learned how to sell, how to work with people, how to manage people. And then I parlayed it into interior design. So, in a way, and then painting, I feel that I was meant to be colorful and to just work with color my whole life.
Wow.
and
Well,
you are, and you've done it.
I don't know. I don't really know how that happened. It probably was divine intervention.
Yeah.
Maybe my mom, but it's been joyous. I have loved every career. Can't complain.
you live colorfully. I mean, you move through the
Do.
world colorfully.
You do.
I mean, it's
Thank
just
you.
integrated, right? I mean,
Thank you.
yeah. So when did by the way, I worked for Clinique too. This is so funny. But
Oh my
anyway,
gosh.
yeah, for Abraham and Strauss in Brooklyn.
Yes, I know it.
On the
Yes.
second floor.
Oh, yes.
But anyway,
Small worlds.
small world. So you eventually made the beeline to interior design.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It was really born when my son was born. I had some time off between my daughter and my son. They're 5.5 years apart. And I started joining mothers clubs and Welcome Wagon, and I offered to have meetings in my home. So eventually these young women, young moms, young wives said, would you do my house or this area or whatever? And at first I started with children's rooms called dream rooms, only children's nurseries and bedrooms, which was so exciting and so much fun, very whimsical. Then they said, how about a family room? My kids are in my family room. And of course I said, okay. So it was really a grassroots kitchen table effort in that I really didn't have schooling. I didn't have resources. I was making the window treatments on my kitchen floor at midnight that had 8-inch white tiles with grout. So I used it as my cutting lines.
Oh, wow. What a great
Nothing
story.
like putting silk on a kitchen floor, hoping it's not dirty from your children. But I digress. Anyway, eventually I was exposed to other designers who really led me to the design center, to resources, workrooms, etc. And I went to RISD for a design certificate because I really wanted to be legitimate and compete with the big guys in Boston.
Right. They needed to learn how to compete with you.
I don't
Yeah,
know
right.
about that.
You took them by storm.
No. Oh.
I mean, you've done so much. I mean, it's amazing. Pam, I remember when I first met you at the design center. I don't know if you remember, but
Yes, I do.
Marilyn Reisman, Linda, did you remember Marilyn Reisman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who she was. Yes. Yep.
And Lori Gorlick introduced us.
Yes.
And friends out there in Hot House, when Pam walks into a room, everyone's like, who is that?
That's exactly what I said the first time I saw her.
Oh my
I thought she
God.
was a celebrity.
Oh,
And she used to have front row of the conference room at the design center. They all would have placards saying reserved, reserved, reserved. And Pamela would walk in at the very end, right before it would start, and sit right in front. And Kim and I, we had just met, like, who the heck is that?
oh my gosh.
Must be the most famous. They must have flown her in.
It's like Anna Winter walking in. Anna Winter walks in and she's
Oh my
like,
gosh. You two are making me blush. I'm going to be matching my blouse in a minute.
The
Oh,
funny
we
thing
say
was
that
when
with
we
so much love, because, you know, and then you meet Pam. And
exactly we met her and it was like, oh my God, she's like the nicest person I ever met in my life.
no. I remember exactly when I met Michelle, because everyone had spoken your name at one time or another, and they couldn't believe that I had not met you. And they said, wait till you meet her. You are going to love her. And it was truly love at first sight. You were funny, you were deep, you're spiritual, your laugh is contagious. I love people who laugh out loud, which not all of us do. The feeling was mutual. And Linda, I think you and I met. I was in New York last minute for a blog tour, and you were on one of Veronica's blog tours.
Yes, that is where we met. Yes.
And we met at a hotel breakfast bar. Veronica had to leave for a personal problem, and you were like, I'm not really sure what's going on, who's taking over. And I'm like, oh, Linda, I don't know.
I
just
remember
went for
that.
the day.
I reached out to you thinking you were the expert and you really didn't know any more than I did.
I didn't. That was a very different part of my career, and I was kind of feeling my way as well.
Yeah.
But I am so fortunate to have traveled with both of you, and that I can call you my friends. I
Yeah.
just
Oh,
love it. I'm
Well, it's
blessed.
definitely mutual.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you. Oh,
Definitely. Definitely. So along the way,
yes.
life happens,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. I'm going to let you lead on how your career was going along, and then, well, you know, I mean,
Yes, I understand. Michelle and Linda have been so gracious and said, whatever you want to share, feel free to, et cetera. And I kind of decided to open up a little bit because I am kind of a closed book. I was raised with, don't wear your heart on your sleeve, put a smile on your face no matter what, which of course today is kind of out of date, but neither here nor there. I have had quite a few significant transitions in my life. After being married 35 years, I had my career, thank God, but I also supported my husband quite a bit in his, and we got a divorce. It was the first time I was on my own. I didn't have any sisters to share a room with. The kids were gone at that point. So it was a giant step. And I wallowed a little bit. Don't misunderstand me. I moved into a condo. I'd only lived in homes. My place looked like a furniture showroom because I didn't edit before I went. I moved in December, and my dear friend Paul came to see me in April. I still had a Christmas tree up, and he said, okay, that's enough. You're making me depressed. So we took my Christmas tree, which was one of these foldable, collapsible ones, and we put it in my son's car, a Kia that was in the parking space, and the tree just opened. I said to my new neighbors are probably thinking, okay, what is going on with this stick? Not to mention my son, when he returned, Mom, is this a storage unit? Where's my car? So anyway, I did transition, and I decided to really focus on my career wholeheartedly. So my incredible assistant and friend, Jen, and we really started searching Facebook. I was blogging at the time. Of course, she was helping me behind the scenes with my grammar, et cetera. But I kept seeing these blog tours to very exotic places in Europe. And I said, I want to go on one of those. How do we do it, Jen? I didn't have any followers. I didn't have an Instagram account. Oh my God, but she is a creative genius. Along with myself, I can remember trying to go to Vegas and borrowing a showgirl outfit costume from one of my dear friends who wears it as often as she can, with a big hat, and sending it to Veronica saying, pick me, blah, 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 blah.
oh my
Anyway,
God.
it was such a boost to my career though. And what a fun way to get re-involved, meeting all new people from all over the country, and even one from Australia. I mean, it was incredible. So I would say that transition, as heartbreaking as it was, I came out remembering the best of the marriage, and it produced two incredible human beings. And I transitioned okay. You know, I tried to remain positive with the help of friends, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of proud of it. I really am. To
You
be
should be.
recognized by Veronica
Oh
and,
my
and
gosh.
given
Yeah.
a chance. She gave me a chance, and I will forever be grateful.
Yeah, she's that kind of person. And who
It's-
would turn you away?
Well, I don't know. I really
Right.
didn't come with a
I mean,
lot.
she's a smart woman, that Veronica.
We didn't come with too much. But hopefully I've paid it back, you know.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In spades. I mean, you've
Well-
done so much and become a presenter at all these events and stuff. And yeah, you're wonderful at it. You're wonderful
Thank
at it.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
And then you have Emily, your daughter, who's
Oh,
given you some grandchildren.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for bringing them up. I first have to say, I am so blessed to have both of my children. I think sometimes I overdo it with the granddaughters, but I mean, they're just outstanding. Emily is a girl boss. She's successful. What I love most about her in her work environment is she has lifted people up. And I think that's so important to share whatever voice we have, whatever leadership. She promotes people and brings them up. She's very sincere about that. And she's done it in multiple jobs. My son, I have to mention him, of course, has had a very rocky road and a very different journey than I think most of you know. He is a recovering alcoholic for 9.5 years. And he just went at it. He sponsored people. He goes to meetings. And I am proud to say he's going to be a Columbia University graduate next May.
That's awesome.
Sustainability. So, you know, I wished I'd had a crystal ball during some of the trials with my son and attempts at becoming sober. But I have learned you just have to trust, you have to have faith, it will work out. And I don't take it for granted, don't misunderstand me, but I'm so proud of him. Now, my granddaughters.
Yeah.
Okay, I've given homage to my children. Oh my gosh. You two are not grandparents yet.
No.
Grandmothers yet. OMG, when the day comes, it's just your heart. I wasn't sure how I would handle it, but your heart does stretch and it makes room for incredible joy. These little girls, when they say, make me, I lift off the ground. They are funny. They are strong. They have their own personalities. My favorite story about Daisy happened last November. Emily picked her up from school and she said, Mom, I have to tell you something. And God love him. Perfect words always. Okay. Now she's in the backseat. Emma's driving. Okay, you know you can tell me anything and I will always love you. She said, okay, Mom. Well, we were talking about Veterans Days and how they've given us our freedom and we are so blessed and thankful. And I raised my hand and I told the teacher, you were a veteran. my dear sweet Emily said, oh, okay. And then Daisy said, well, there's one more thing. And Emily, I'm sure, is thinking, what? He said, well, I then told them that Mamie was a veteran. I don't know, my friend, unless they make think camouflage. Oh, Lord.
Oh, that's so funny.
You just don't know what's going to come out of their mouths. And they are just too sweet. I can't tell you, whenever I'm in their presence, I'm just over the moon.
I would imagine.
It's pure joy. Pure.
That's great. That is great.
Oh, you too.
I mean, I look at their pictures and they're like little fairies.
They are. They're so unbelievably cute.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're very kind. Ella has the crown of curls down her back and blonde. She looks like an angel, which is very goth in disguise. She loves the color black. She loves fruit bats. She likes to go, who are you? So she's pretty fun too. But Emily does a great job at posting and she's a fabulous photographer. I hope it makes people happy and not like, oh my God, when is this going to stop?
No, everyone.
No, it's I love seeing that.
I do too. And I see they've picked up your love for art. So tell us a little bit about your art.
Oh, thank you for asking. You know, again, I never really painted or drew. My mother was a fine artist and 3 of my sisters are. So it was time I kind of jumped on board. And I started when my son went to college and I finally could set out a space because they always advise you have a studio. and I could leave paintings, I could experiment. I took local classes. My area has a plethora of very talented artists who teach, including a couple that are listening in, Kelly and Paula. And I've just learned so much. I've grown to love it, although it is work. I mean, it did not just come naturally. I had to study it. But I love it now. I have Pamela Copeman Art Instagram. I'm sorry, a little plug there. I'm in the middle of a self-imposed challenge, 100 paintings in 100 days.
Wow, that's quite the.
It is, and you do it every day. I mean, I look at the art and I'm just like, how is she doing this every single day? She's so consistent.
Well, you're so sweet. I kind of took a look back and I thought, I think I'm not improving. I'm getting worse, but it's summertime and, I am busy, but I am doing it every day. I couldn't post one day last week because I had a new phone and it was a little glitchy. So I posted 2 the next day, but then I lost count. I don't know, but I think I'm on day 68 or 60.
How long does it take you? Like, is it an hour a day of time? Is it 5 hours a day of your time?
Oh my gosh, Linda, my friends in art prepared me for this question because many people will say when they're looking at a larger painting for their home, well, how long did it take you to paint this? And it could have taken 2 hours, 2 days, whatever. But in reality, it has taken years of training, etc.
Sure.
But I will let you in on a secret.
Yeah.
These paintings are all watercolor.
Yeah.
So most of them are between 30 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And if I have time, I'll go back and do even a little more before I post. So
you've developed such a beautiful style. Like, I could see your paintings almost anywhere and go, oh, there's a Pamela Copeman, which I think is real. I don't know if it's that I don't know. It's your style, which carried over from design into art.
Thank you, Linda. I think it probably is. I took a master class with a beautiful watercolorist and teacher this fall, and he was doing a lot of architectural things, etc., which are not necessarily my wheelhouse. And I took in a pad and I said, I just want you to know I really can paint. I want to learn everything I can about watercolor, but this is more my style. And he said to me kind of on the side from the class, you have a style. A lot of the students here are trying to develop one.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
He said, use some of the watercolor techniques I'm teaching to make it better. But he said, you're already ahead of the game, which I will tell everyone who will listen. I was so thrilled with that.
I love your red hat lady. I loved, I mean, I think I even commented to you, a whole collection would be incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't it great? And there's another one that you did that there's the many that you did. The whole COVID portrait was powerful. Very, very powerful. But so is Tally. You did this incredible painting.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yes. I loved that because he's such a figure. He was almost easy to paint because, the color and the dark skin. And yes, just to memorialize, jump on the wagon with, telling him how much I really appreciated him, etc. You're so sweet. The red hat sold. It's en route to South Carolina. I just mailed it today.
Wow, not surprised.
I did another hat that was a straw hat. I think I might do that. I also have a local collector, God bless her, Jane, and she keeps texting me, get these into sacks, get them on a shopping bag, do this.
Oh my gosh.
That would be really great.
Sure how, but this fall I might really go to it.
Just walk in the office, Pam. Just walk in. Walk in with your stuff and go, this is, and they'll say, sure.
Hey, want some of this?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to do much.
Oh my gosh. You guys, could you just come with me, build me, push me in? Michelle, I have to say thank you for mentioning the COVID paintings. That was such a difficult time for all of us. And painting in isolation and such an emotional time, I really just went out there on a limb with this very bold depiction in oranges and pinks and larger canvases. And I enjoyed it. I mean, as sad as it was, because it got some of my angst out.
Right.
And I know at some point I would love to have an exhibit with them. The first was just the fear and the mask and the tears. Actually,
Oh,
that
yeah.
went to a hospital in Philadelphia, so I no
Oh,
longer
did it?
have.
Oh, good.
Someone contacted me and said she was a nurse and they were doing a haul for their staff. Could she purchase it? And I said, absolutely not, and sent it off, of course, and was thrilled to do it. But then it evolved to compositions around Easter where I couldn't see my family, but there were Easter lilies and again, tears. One was about just going grocery shopping. I kind of did the Trader Joe's with all the carriages lined up and people 6 feet apart. It just was very rewarding.
Yeah, they were
And thank you again for mentioning that.
powerful. Well, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I mean, you could feel it.
You did.
Right.
Don't you agree, Linda? It was like
Oh,
one of those,
absolutely. Yes.
it's so powerful.
You were
and
expressing what we all were feeling.
That's right.
Thank you. That's probably the best compliment you can give an artist is that. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Mhm.
you're
So
welcome.
sweet. Oh my goodness.
So now that COVID is behind us, sort of, mostly,
Yes.
hopefully, then you're just sort of getting rolling again, and then you have another challenge thrown in your way. Do you want to speak at all about that?
Yes, I would be delighted in that if any of these personal discussions can help someone, I'm all for it. I know I sound like a celebrity. I didn't mean it that way. But anyway, let me share my
No, I think it's good to share because people always think but from the outside, it honestly looks like you have a blessed, perfect life. Those of us that are close to you know that you have had a lot of challenges. So I
Yes.
think being open and just talking a little bit about it, makes other people feel not so bad if they're going through gives them comfort if they're going through maybe a challenging time right now.
You are so sweet. Thank you for that, Linda. Yes, I have been very blessed with great health. I mean, truly, until last September. And within minutes, I had surgery. Then I had another one. Was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks during another COVID scare. So there was lack of nursing care, et cetera. It was kind of a dreadful diagnosis, et cetera, which I won't get into. It's rather boring and icky. But the reality is I was able to get out of the hospital and then have another surgery in January to fix everything that went wrong during the first 3. What I gained from that, though, is first of all, there's nothing like being weak and coming home and really having to rely on people. My daughter and my son were fabulous. They got the word out. I ate more delicious foods within 6-week period of time than I could have going out to 4-star restaurants. They were all made with love and they were divine. The flowers, which the flowers, the cards, the books, the outpouring of love is what I really wanted to walk away with. People that I hadn't seen in years, friends from when my kids were young, those friends that somehow we've lost touch, and it flooded me. It was just the most marvelous feeling. And your strength does come back. It took a while. I have a quote my friend Gina shared with me, and it says, healing is a matter of time. I hated being down, as you can imagine, but it is also a matter of opportunity. So I really pondered that. And as impatient as I was, I started to make lists of things I might want to do. This is a time to have a new chapter, and just daydreaming and thinking about how I wanted to spend my time. When you get close to not having more time here, you get very reflective and thoughtful. I believe I've always been a spiritual person, but I started to become quite religious, and thanking whoever your supreme being or God is, having conversations on a daily basis. I still think about how close I came, and I wonder what I have been saved to do now. So I'm still working that through. I'm not taking it for granted by any means, because it really was a little scary. When a nurse whispers to you in the middle of the night, "You're not going to die tonight."
Oh, God.
No, bless her
Wow.
heart. She meant it very sincerely. She was
Yeah.
a wonderful nurse,
Oh, I know.
totally overworked.
Yeah.
She was trying to give me the attention I really needed. But I just kind of looked at her, and you're always pretty conscious. Even if you're on painkillers, you're lucky if it touches the pain. It doesn't touch your mind. And I said, "Am I dying?" It's like,
Wow.
I never even considered it. But it's a wake-up call. Thank God I have my Emily and Fred. They were my advocates. When you don't have a spouse or a partner, it falls on their shoulders, which truly broke my heart. I don't want them in this situation, but God bless them. They are adults. Who knew? And they had very comprehensive, assertive conversations with all the doctors involved. No, we are not going to wait for an x-ray. We want it now.
Yeah.
No, we want the cardiologist now. We are not leaving until he comes or she comes. They did a sterling job. But there are pluses to take away. The nurses, I had a close-up view of what we're all reading about in the papers. They're doing 16-hour shifts. They go home to 3 and 4, 5 children.
Wow.
They, I guess was the most decorated pole. Of course, anything that's decorated, I'm all for. But this is a pole that you have all these bags and beeps and this and that for, and IVs and needles. They couldn't get to me to change them when they started to beep. It wasn't their fault.
Oh my
They
gosh.
would come in, I'm sorry, you need your payments. I'm like, it's okay, please. I understand. I will get the word out. I know you're doing your best. Just God bless. And I had a couple of very special nurses. That were just wonderful. It's an experience. And now perhaps I will have more empathy for anyone I know who's going through something like this.
Now, are you 100% good now? Like totally recovered, no issues, lingering issues?
Oh God, that's the big question. I'm just about there.
Good.
A few tweaks here and there.
So
But yes.
within the year, hopefully.
Oh yes.
One thing I noticed is that, and I get how you were feeling, because I remember the feeling when I rang that final bell after my
Yes.
final cancer treatment. That's like, I'm going to say yes to everything. And I noticed you went to Mexico. You were just traveling. You were
So
doing
good.
all of these
Good.
amazing things, where I know you do amazing things, but it seemed like it was one after another. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go to New York, do a show. Let's go to Tulum and learn how to paint. And you were just like embracing life. And it just brought so much joy to me, seeing you live to the fullest after such a scary time, where a nurse had to tell you weren't going to die that night. To go from that to let's live. It was just so heart, whatever the word is, just made me feel so happy.
Oh, you are so sweet, because you've had your own trials and knee surgery, which that's very difficult. I met with my surgeon for the last time at I think the second week in February, and he said, "I'm releasing you. You have no restrictions." And I had registered for this art class 2 years ago, and it was, of course, postponed. And within 5 days, I was gone. I had to find my passport. I went with no no money. I mean, I'm not that kind of traveler. I
Yeah.
start packing.
You like to plan.
I like
Get
to
the
plan.
wardrobe all
Oh, yes.
perfect. And the shoes and the
Yes,
jewelry.
hats, and I had to pack art supplies.
Oh, wow.
You
But
were
I
the most,
did.
you were more organized than anyone in Vegas I've ever seen. She had like a binder with like every.
Oh, wow.
She
That's
was so
incredible.
organized.
Oh, you're too kind. I refer to those binders periodically, let me tell you. Oh, but we've got to live every minute. I know it's trite, but every day is a gift.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. I think if you bring a positive attitude, which I was blessed with in my DNA, it can carry you through a lot,
Mhm.
a lot.
You've proven that for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So can you touch on some, I know you have some tips for us all.
you know, I am unmercifully organized and I like to be prepared. So bear with
Which
me.
we greatly appreciate.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Am
Yes.
I boring yet? You'll tell
No.
me if I'm boring. Okay, because I don't want this to
I
be.
want to, I'm waiting for the tips.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too. I want to
right.
get my pencil out and write them
I
down.
know. That's okay. I did type them up.
Okay. Send me a copy, would you?
All right. So some are fun and some whatever. My mother often said, you can never be overdressed. So just take that or leave it. Kiss often on a cheek, on two cheeks, on the lips, or on the forehead, and do it with love. Dance every day, even if you're alone. Love fiercely and with passion. This can be done with a partner, a girlfriend, a friend who is a man, and a child. Give compliments sincere and authentic. Share with the person and make their spirits soar. Be kind to everyone you cross paths with. Have a conversation with your spiritual leader or God often. Make toasts. It's the perfect forum to tell someone how much they mean to you or what an occasion means to you. Of course, we're all going to love this. Be creative. Everyone needs a creative space in their life. It can be cooking, gardening, painting, writing, dancing, anything, decorating. Do something new, especially as you get to be close to my age. It keeps you fresh, even if you don't succeed. I mean, I am in sailing 101 for the third year, but it's okay. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get this if it kills. Develop control of your mind. Don't let your worries or self-doubts envelop you so that you're spiraling out of control. Try to embrace good thoughts, good friends, good positive messages. Live in the light. And why not add a few chandeliers to your home? Closet, hallways, bathrooms, go for it. Smile all the time, like you two are doing, until your cheeks hurt. Exercise your mind. There's so many creative ways to do this. Puzzles, word games on your phone, Wordle. My friend Tina is now doing spelling bee. Oh my God, it's really challenging. Paint intuitively. Do crossword puzzles and games. Personally, I still find Chutes and Ladders hard. My daughter Daisy wants to play every time she comes. There are all these arrows, ladders, and chutes. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I'm going to master that too. Exercise your body to new ways. I mean, there's so much online. We can do Zumba online or in the gym, bike ride. Some bikes even have assistance. My friend Paul has an electric bike. Not me. I bought myself a pink cruiser for Christmas with high handlebars and back brakes. I have a pink ringer, ring, ring, and a helmet. Watch out. I'm coming. Sleep under the stars, alone or with a child or a loved one. It's quite an experience. Love your friends deeply and make new ones. That's what makes life interesting. Travel near and far. Be open to travel that may come your way. Vietnam and Thailand were never on my bucket list, but I will forever bless the day I went to see my son, but to tour. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Go on a mission trip. I went to Guatemala 2 years in a row with dear friends Kelly and Joanne. And to see what some people are living with is just enlightening. It's heartbreaking. I think you hope to bring that home and realize how lucky we are in this country. Learn what your children are learning. My son Fred is doing sustainable energy, and he keeps giving me these circular economic books to read and how to do sustainable energy. And I love it. It's taking me a long time, and I have to highlight and reread things, but I want to know what he's interested in. So I'm giving it my best shot. And who knows, maybe I'll get an honorary degree from Columbia with him. I'll be the oldest person in their class. Engage with your community. I am now a very proud member of the Situate Senior Center, and I am loving it. There are
Great.
so many classes, sharp people. Oh my God, I love each and every one of them. I do Zumba there, and the Zumba teacher certainly has not dulled it down. Let me tell you, I have left like drenched, and I'm next to perhaps a 75 or 80-year-old woman who's just going along like it's nothing. I have a long way to go. That's all I have to say. Read for yourself or with a grandchild. And last but not least, wear red lipstick every day. It'll make you feel so bright and happy.
Can I just clap? That was
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Silly.
That was awesome.
Wonderful. We
Thank
should
Oh.
post those on the group when we're
I-
off.
Yes, I can certainly have my great assistant, Jen, who's here with me. say,
One more chore.
No,
for-
no,
Poor
oh,
Jen.
she's so good to me. I mean, as a friend, but also she does all those technical things.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying, but
Yeah.
you know, it's hard.
I
Liz,
get.
I'm impressed. You even have a headset. I want one of those.
Oh.
So before I wrap up, though, I was going to give you the final question, but I have one more question that I really wanted to ask you, only because I even had people reach out to me today. Someone reached out and said, does Pam always look so good? Because they had seen one of the stories.
Oh, yes. No.
I have to ask you about your fashion before I let you go. I mean, that would have been such a big miss.
No.
You are such a great representation of what I have been saying for the, to people in my age. It's like, who says that we're defined by what we put on? Shouldn't we be having fun?
Yes. Now that brings up an interesting question. How should we be defined by what we put on? My daughter, doesn't want to raise her girls, my granddaughters, always thinking about their looks, etc. Although she dresses them alike. And of course, anywhere we go, people are, oh, look at these children, blah, blah, blah. And they're lovely. I mean, they're outgoing, they're sweet. I have always been someone that believes a first impression counts. I've always been one who loves to play dress up, possibly because when I was little, we didn't really have a lot of things. I used to dress up in, those cafe curtains with ruffles that were sheers, that if they were discarded, we'd make them into these lavish gowns. And then there was a shawl. I don't even know where I came up with these ideas, but I love to play. Okay, really, Michelle, remember the painting we did for you and your friend? A Parisian, with the
Shoes,
bangles and shoes. Anyway, I think since I've been on my own, I've become a little bit more liberal with what I'm wearing. I'm dressing only for me. I don't have to be the conservative wife of a partner of And yeah, I'm going for it. I think there's some guidelines. You have to make sure it fits properly, that it's made for your body type. Mine's changed a little bit with the surgeries. I probably will not be wearing anything tucked in for the rest of my life, but it's okay. I still can wear color, and I love go-to jewelry. If I have a white t-shirt on and jeans, I'm going to the market, I wear a little, mule heel, and I put on great rhinestones or whatever, and my bright lipstick, and people smile, and it makes me feel good. I really do it for me. And I think that's important to note too. I'm not dressing for anyone else. And the other part to this, yes. Oh my goodness gracious. You have no idea what I look like when I'm in the garden. Oh, you wouldn't recognize me.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
True.
Oh no, but I'm glad to know that knowing you, it just is inspiring. And
Oh,
it is.
oh gosh, thank
You
you.
have the same, the whole wonderful thing about having you on today is you have the same challenges that most of us have, but you go through it with grace. And that is what's inspiring. You show you're a living example that there's a way to do it, to push through it all and still have yourself at the end of it, still know who you are. That's powerful.
Right.
And we wanted to share that. And thank you for sharing.
Oh my gosh, that's a big statement, Michelle. My mom also used to say, Pamela, it's not how you handle the good times, it's how you handle the bad times.
Right.
And I believe that's so true. That's how you build character. You wouldn't choose a lot of these challenges, but if you can handle it, as Michelle said, with grace and love and respect, that's all we can ask.
That's all we can ask.
Well, you do it like brilliantly.
Thank you.
Brilliantly.
She really does, effortlessly, right? So here's our last question.
Okay.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh my goodness. I pondered this. I believe I would tell her, be more confident, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, lead and live your life for you. No one else, not a boyfriend, not a husband, and you will be fine. You will be fine.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like you.
That is great advice. And you've definitely done that.
I've tried, there's things I could have done after college. I didn't because I was going to be married, etc. But it's okay. It all works out. You can't look back. You can only look forward. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So what's next for you on the horizon?
Oh my goodness gracious. You are not going to believe this. I'm going back to school in September.
Oh, wow. Where? For what?
I am going to Massasoit Community College in Canton.
Yeah.
I'm going for a fine arts degree.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I know. I don't know how I'll be as a student. My friends Lisa and Paige said, "Oh, we're going to have to take you shopping for some street cred, wardrobe." Oh my God!
You can't show up with your pink boa.
No. Well, I don't think I'm going to lose all of me. I don't self be true, but I'm enrolled there because it's about an hour away with traffic. But they have an incredible teacher from the South Shore, Scott Ketchum. Everyone raves about. And he teaches there. So instead of going twice a week, I'm taking one class on Thursdays, 12 to 4 in drawing 1, which I'm very excited about, but I'm very nervous. Do you think I can focus that long? 4 hours?
That's a long class. Yeah.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
But it's doing something you love. It's your passion. So
it is.
I think the end of the 4 hours, it's like, oh, wow, is that over already?
Gone? Well, I do know I'm going to bring a thermos of coffee just in case in my art bag.
Yeah.
But that, and just, I really want to have an influence on my granddaughter's life. And Emily's been very good about bringing me into it. That is a pure joy of mine, and maybe a way I can leave a little bit of myself on earth. We'll see.
That's wonderful. That is it a 2-year program, 4-year program?
Well, it can be as long as you want.
Okay.
So I'm going to see how I do with one class.
Yeah.
And in the winter, I think I may be traveling a little bit. So I'm going to have to see what the winter versus spring and even summer schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
They go year round. So I don't want to miss any classes because I'll be a dunce. I want to, be on top of the class if I can.
Of course, yes. Knowing you will be the star pupil.
Oh, no. Not with my drawing skills. But anyway, that's what's on the horizon.
That's exciting. That's very exciting.
I want to hear about what you two have on the agenda. We'll have to turn around and interview you.
We have this on the agenda.
I know. And what an undertaking. I still haven't quite figured out how you've done all of this, but I'm very impressed.
You would not be impressed if you knew.
I know. There's a lot of what? What do I do, Linda?
Yeah, right. How
What?
did you do that? Oh, wait. Oh, I just made I went live on my personal page instead of the Hot House page.
It's a lot of trial and error and just kind of leading with that. Everything is kind of guttural and we just take it day by day and that's the end of it and hope that people see our hearts through the whole thing and will join us.
We're
And-
slowly
Absolutely.
building on our knowledge. We finally
Yeah.
figured out Zoom after I don't know how many failed attempts at Zoom.
It's not as easy as people think it is.
Oh, yeah, it's not. It's
Especially when you're zooming onto Facebook. That was definitely
Oh, yeah,
figuring out a
I don't
challenge.
know. Oh, God. I
But
just love
anyway.
you guys.
we love you too. And we will be together in September, hopefully.
Yes.
And until then, enjoy the rest of your summer. And thank you so much. Friends, if you want to follow Pam, she's on Instagram. She's got a couple of accounts on there. And you can follow Pamela Copeman. I think it's Pamela _Copeman_art.
No,
No,
design
sorry.
group. And then it's Pamela Copeman Art. on
Art.
All
Instagram.
one word. Okay,
Yes.
great.
Well,
Well, this was just so wonderful to see you. I'm going to give you a big virtual hug because I miss seeing you.
I miss you both. Thank you
Love
so
you.
much. I'm so flattered. Just thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Enjoy
Enjoy
your day.
the rest of your summer with
Kelly,
those
Paula, and Kate, thank
granddaughters.
you.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.